All right, so we'll always know what year we did this.
Yes. Thanks for joining us tonight. We are here to celebrate, well, we are the Dandy Warhols, and we're here to celebrate
Ourselves.
ourselves and the 20-year anniversary of 13 Tales from Urban Bohemia. We are immersed in our official videos. Awesome. We are taking questions from our fans, you guys. Peter and Brent are joining our laptops. Hi Pete, hi Brent.
Hey guys,
Where are you?
Wherever you are.
We're going to be showing you some never before seen footage of the 13 Tales in 13 Places project, shown once in Portland at a theater, never on the interwebs.
Amazing experience.
Yeah.
We did the gorilla, couple amps, vocals, guitars, drums, everything, just through a couple of amps. We just pop out of the car, set up, play in front of our favorite and kind of the places of our lives.
Yeah, little battery powered everything. Carried it to the next spot. It was awesome. And the grand finale will be the 13 Tales from Urban Bohemia live at the Wonder Ballroom world premiere.
In its entirety, played the whole record.
Start to finish.
You know, we had Nathan Jr. and Corey Gray backing us up because there's just we record a lot of parts when we make records, so to carry it off, we had to get a couple.
That was one of my favorite things about it.
Multi-instrumentals buddies.
Having more musicians on stage with us.
Yeah.
Not forever, for always, but to have done a tour like that.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
And more dudes to drink with.
More dudes to drink with. So thanks to technology, we are able to have Peter and Brent join us from their laptops at home.
Hey guys, Pete, what's going on, man?
AC.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, you're coming in clear. I can hear you.
Awesome. Nice work, guys. Good to see you.
All right, let's do some questions. Hey, Pete, why don't you do the first one?
Hey, Fraser Dickinson asks what our favorite tracks are from the album. And I've always just said Mohammed, mainly because that was the one that was kind of the most fun to play live. But lately, maybe Cool Scene. Always really dug that track. Wish we played it live more often.
Yeah, I would say Cool Scene too. I mean, my favorites change, regularly, but I feel like Cool Scene didn't get enough attention for how good it is. When we made that record, I thought, this is the single. I love the lyrics. It's just so its own sound.
Yeah, that one really worked out. I mean, it's got a weird instrumentation and a weird beat. The kick is only on the offbeats.
Yeah, it's unique.
It's a floppity. Try to get things to flop sonically and then work still.
Yeah. I mean, I could defend every song on this album as my favorite song of the album, really. But I'm gonna stick with Cool Scene. Marissa Richards actually asked a really similar question, which is, what is our favorite song to play live from the album? Brent, do you have a favorite?
I think, for me, I think it would have to be, honestly, I think it's probably Bohemian Like You. I just love that song. And it's also, I get to start it off with that drum beat. And it's always a bit exciting. People really like that song, and everyone gets all fired up and they sing along and everyone's doing the woo-hoo-hoo, and I just enjoy it. I love playing that tune. I get excited when I see it's next on the set list. And yeah, I think it's got to be Bohemian Like You.
Yeah, it's always a relief to see it next on the set list. It's on, whew, okay, we got there. We've achieved this. This is going to be smoking from here on out. It's often my favorite too, but it's obviously they change all the time. But I'd have to say Nietzsche.
Live?
Oh, that's right. We're live. The once we played it.
It was my favorite.
It was amazing, right? Yeah, duh. Why don't we do that? I don't have a favorite live actually. It's just whichever is working because they're just so different. But I think my favorite song on the record, though, is if I had to Desert Island only one, I'd probably just be Nietzsche. Maybe because it's the longest. I don't know. It's quite an amazing track, and Sardi, when he mixed it, he did a lot of those mutes and releases where things just get quiet and then open up, and it's got dynamics, and it's just such a powerful thing.
Wasn't it way longer? I think it was like a 15-minute song that we turned into like a 7-minute song.
Wow, okay.
Something like that.
That sounds like our style for sure. Yeah.
All right, next question.
So, hey, Ryan T. Murphy was asking about the sequence of 13 Tales, and if I remember right, it was in my old car. Originally it went from Country Lever and onwards, and the last 3 songs were Godless, Muhammad, and Nietzsche, and I think Nietzsche was like 10 minutes longer than it was when it finally ended up on the album. It was just this epic long final track, and in my car, the CD player used to just play the same CD over and over. So at one stage, I had just started it on Godless in the car, and when it went from the end of Nietzsche to Country Lever, I thought it was a really cool sort of like wake-up moment out of that trip of those 3 songs, and I think I told Court to try that out. Try running Godless first, and then into Country Lever and onwards, just the same order, but just starting with Godless. And yeah, Nietzsche into Country Lever worked really well, so I think we just edited it down a little bit.
Actually, Fatty, I remember you calling me from outside my window to tell me that you had left the record at the end of Gospel. And so when you got in your car the next morning and started it, it just started with Godless. And I think you said you were pretty hungover too, and it was just perfect and dreamy. And I should try it that way. And so it was so much, I had to agree that was just such a powerful opening, and far more emotionally striking than So it was, it was gonna start with country kind of vibe out in the country, but no, it had to be with Godless.
Courtney, what were you like in the year 2000?
That's a big question. Well, to sum it up, in the simplest terms, exciting, wild. Yeah.
Well, we actually have a clip of you from the year 2000.
Oh, whew.
Do you want to see it?
Whew. Can't believe you caught me on film back then. Oh my gosh.
Well, who had cameras?
I hope I was dressed. I hope I'm not wearing peanut butter. Only.
Let's check it out.
I just slept for about 12 hours. It was lovely. All right, those don't match. Oh, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I hate this game. I do laundry so infrequently that I'm not really very good at it yet. Girl sock. 2 girl socks. I must have borrowed some socks. Okay, and these 3 don't match. What the fuck is going on?
Looks like your life is really tough.
Can you believe it? Oh man, I wish I was Homer Simpson. Oh, what am I talking about? Apparently I am.
Yeah, really wild.
Riveting.
Crazy guy.
I don't know how I lived through it.
You were writing songs, you were...
Counting socks. 5.
Man, I don't think there's any footage of me from the year 2000.
Hey. Let me, hold on. Fathead just sent me a shot of you from the 13 places. See if you can post that up.
That's the plane that we're going to be performing inside of. We were just tripping out on the shape of this plane, and once we saw the inside, it's just so perfect to photograph or film in. The guppy. Heck yeah.
Oh my god, that was so fun. That bus ride. Okay, so
My ass hurt for like, it was a lot longer than it was. It was a school bus, you know.
But our fans came with us, so 13 songs in 13 places. This is also previously unreleased project. We're really good at making content, really bad at putting content out apparently. So
running the business side of things is not actually our forte. That's a misnomer. You know?
And the last 10% of any project is really hard, and in film and music, that's the release part. So it doesn't always come out. Anyway, we that crowd surf shot, good call, was from the 13 Tales in 13 Places that we mentioned before, the pop-ups. Let's watch one of those. Oh my god, I love that one.
That is such a cinematic experience. I can't believe that worked out like that. I think that was your idea, actually. Like
I scouted it before. I'm just on a little beach trip. I was like, has to be one of the places.
It's one of the
It didn't really
coolest.
fit with the rest of the concept. It just had to be. I had to do a song inside that plane.
So Ryan Albanese was asking about where 13 Tales ranks as far as the recording experience goes, and I'd have to rank it right up there. I mean, obviously working in the auditorium is the best. It's the ultimate. It's like one of the greatest studios in the world, really, and it feels like home, and that's kind of the best. But as far as building out a studio from, we got an old gym that had been shut down and loaded in a bunch of rugs and sofas and turned it into a really beautiful vibe, and had this massive room where that's probably a basketball court or something, and we played the drums in there on Nietzsche, and you can hear all that echo and natural reverb on the drums on that song. I love that. But yeah, and it had a sauna for the tighter drum sound with all the wood walls, and just beautiful. So I'd rank it right up there as far as one of the most memorable experiences. Plus, it was my first recording with the Dandies. It was really cool. Had lots of friends over, lots of parties. It's a really good time. And yeah, as far as Ryan was also asking if Capitol got their mitts in there while we were tracking. I don't really remember that. I think I remember somebody visiting once, but no, it was a pretty smooth process.
Oh, well, hold on. Let's also remember that it was 0 degrees out Fahrenheit, which meant it was 0 degrees in and Fahrenheit. And so we had like a jet engine style heater that was on a rolling trailer, and we would have to go click it on the minute you finished a guitar take.
Get your fingers back.
And it sounded like this.
That's exactly what it sounded like.
That's the sound.
That's exactly.
And we live with that sound, and then we warm up, and then like, okay, ready? Okay, all right, okay, ready, and rolling.
So Sharon Goldwalker was asking how we kind of reacted, or whether or not we enjoyed the explosion of 13 Tales, and I'd say it was a pretty smooth transition. The first few tours before that album came out that I went on, the shows were pretty massive with Every Day Should Be a Holiday and Boys Better and Not If You're the Last Junkie on Earth. I mean, we were playing some pretty epic shows and TV shows, and you know, it felt pretty awesome through that. And then, yeah, I guess Bohemian Like You took a little while because nobody heard it until Vodafone put it on everybody's television set, and then we were already working on Monkey House when that happened. So yeah, definitely felt that moment for sure. And it was really fun. More big shows and great parties. And she also asked if we remember the people from city to city who come back and see us time and time again, and who wait around afterwards to chat. Yeah, absolutely. We love to go right, head straight to the bar and hang out with everyone after the gigs, and definitely met so many people, made so many friends. Still in contact with a lot of people that we met that way, and yeah, it's been wonderful. I think that's the best thing about playing in the Dandy Warhols, maybe, is of course the travel and just meeting people from all these different countries, and sharing a drink or some food with them, and yeah, absolutely, you get along. I mean, Dandy Warhols fans are the coolest, and so I love to go and meet everybody. They seem to be cut from the same cloth as we are. So yeah, one of the best things, and absolutely remember all those familiar faces. Usually see them before the end of the gig, because everyone's lined up in the front. So yeah, thanks, Sharon.
Absolutely. both, right? I mean, it was so fun. And it happened a year and a half after.
I think that's what really did it was we were ready for the explosion and there was no explosion. It was a...
Yeah. We kind of lost touch with a lot of our friends that were kind of not, we didn't have their phone numbers, you know? Once we got over that hump of the big fame, we definitely got back to being able to roll into a town and just see our friends and go out with a ton of people after gigs. And that's really one of the most fun things about tour is people you forgot, you haven't seen in 5 years, or people you saw 11 months ago when you were played a festival in Clusay or whatever. They're there and you get to hang out and you have hours and hours. You can go the rest of the night until the morning if you want to.
I think that is the way that I made friends for all of those years of touring, was just who showed up over and over that wasn't someone I had decided to avoid, right? Who shows up, because there's those two, but who shows up over and over that you start to build a connection with. You are way better at it than me, but to get their phone number or their email or some way to like reach out to them when I got to the city, I never did that.
I always put them in under the name of the city.
Which I do for band friends, but I didn't do it for that. And so it'd be like I just got to the video store, if you remember video stores, and you can't think of all the movies you wanted to see.
Right.
Every time I get to a town, when we pull away from the town, I remember the 4 people or the one person I wished I reached out to.
Are we gonna return to the exciting days of the creation and the touring of Cruising Tales?
The year 2000. Yes.
Okay, this is Pete partying pretty hard.
Just screw around with pedals.
Well, Pete hasn't changed a bit.
Yeah, no, he actually is still there doing that whole time.
Same Pete, different pedals.
So what's up with Magic Gardens?
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's just awesome.
I mean, it's hard to pick one strip club to do a song in because there's so many awesome ones, but it just seemed like the most sensible. It seems like we hung out there more than any of the other ones.
So everyone, you guys put your cameras away for this one or else we don't get to have Karma join us.
Thank you very much.
One or the other.
No, that's my
So your ex got a mansion where you could get on the hill. All he wants to see you, he's a Hollywood thrill. He's a Spanish fly with bodies like Italian suits that you got him look for Italian. And you worry that you're tan, you rose at the valley. Summer in the city, or winters in Miami. And you get so high up the high life hills, cruising and boozing and rocking on the horse-sized pills. You could even take the thrills. You could even take the thrills, 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 thrills. horse-sized pills.
Okay, that looks exactly like my memories of that place felt on that day.
It was a national treasure. Magic Gardens.
Tragic Garden,
And I think one of my favorites of the 13 places.
because of the memories associated with tragic, or because of that day in particular?
It's just so absurd.
Oh, it was
Every
absurd.
aspect of it. It was, I think, the most absurd one we did.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Like every other one, I really was in the place and believed in the setup and like
Yeah.
we were doing it.
We're
And
in
then that
front of
one
the X-ray.
is just the silliest.
Absolutely.
It's the silliest.
Yeah, it's a singularity.
Not the perfect segue to a question about this next song, but Kevin Goldsmith asks, why is Mohammed called Mohammed?
Pete?
Yeah, Pete, you haven't answered in a bit.
While we were making that, making 13 Tales, I went and spent Christmas with my sister in France, and she got this alarm clock for Christmas from friends, which played the Islamic call to prayer, and I thought it was so cool that I had to go get one myself. And this is it. See that. So I played the ringtone or whatever through. I just held it up to my guitar and ran it through a bunch of pedals and recorded that, and that's what you hear in the beginning of that song. And maybe that inspired the name.
Well, thanks, Pete. So, Tom McMullen asks, Bohemian Like You has been used in several films, especially loved Flushed Away. Me too. What is the band's approval process when you get to these kinds of requests? Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah. Cool.
I mean, what's the worst that can happen? So we don't like the film clip, our song just probably made it a little bit better. Like,
yeah.
it's not like advertisement that's gonna make you.
Right. People don't like our band if they're not pretty cool artists to begin with. So almost all of the movies that ever asked us, or commercials, or they're always pretty, at least to our taste, we're always pretty impressive filmmakers. I can tell you that Bohemian Like You commercial, I just played it for Chris, and I said, look at this. Can you imagine this budget for a video? I mean, that should have been our video. It
basically was.
It was hot and epic and cool and like world travel-y and heartfelt and homey and exotic. It was everything, man. Those were the best filmmakers in the world. They were.
It felt like the first day after school is out for summer, right?
Oh my God, yeah, I did.
Yeah, that's what it feels
Wow. Right, but you're blocked. Your car is blocked because of sheep, because you're traveling in Scotland in a little rent-a-car with a couple of your friends. I mean, it was everything. They didn't. God, they were good.
Let's go back to Life on the Road, 2000. We're hustling. We're pushing our album, 13 Tales from Urban Bohemia, and let's go back to you, Brent.
Let's see, Brent. What was Brent like in the year 2000?
We're in Utah. We're going across the street to get some candy and some food and some coffee. It's freezing. Immediately, I didn't want Budweiser. I didn't want candy. I just wanted coffee. Because it's like 8 in the morning.
It's like 3 in the afternoon.
It is?
Holly Allen asks who has the jean jacket from the album cover, and that would be me. Still have it. Right here. Got a few more patches and embroidery and pins than it does on the album cover. But that's because I wore it all the time and it needed to be repaired and decorated, and I didn't know it was going to be on the album cover. Found that on tour, when we were on tour with the Long Pigs, in a overnight stop for the bus driver to sleep in Oklahoma, which found it at a little thrift store there. Super cool. Also, Justine asked about the punk shirt in the photo. Tim Kerr gave me that. Tim Kerr was the guy that put up the money for the indie label that we were first signed to. And he was an avid record collector and just overall collector of all sorts of things. But it turns out that the punk logo and magazine, that a guy named John Holmstrom was involved. No relation, but I had always known that, and so to actually get an original punk shirt was just really, really cool. Still have that somewhere too.
We've got one more question before we talk about the concert, the reason we're all here.
Before we play it.
Yeah. Linda Kushner asks, is 13 Tales in 13 Places ever going to be available for fans to purchase? That's a great question, Linda.
I hope so. Well,
I'm pretty sure that we can make that happen.
yeah,
Eventually.
We've got a good team together right now for getting things done, so I think that will.
That's something I want to, if that helps.
Right.
Is it time to have a rock show?
I am excited. I love this. The visuals and the gig was so awesome.
I mean, wasn't it like, this was your idea to have this last one filmed? I believe so. I believe you sort of spearheaded this project.
Which is why it's so, 5 drunks with cameras and 2 actual filmmakers, and that's about it.
I agree. I'm really excited to watch this with you guys. We'll be in the chat room, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Great.
thank you for being part of this 20-year anniversary celebration and celebrating that 2020 is nearly done.
Yeah, wow. You guys remember the toilet paper roll thing? I mean,
I'm just glad we have something to celebrate in 2020. Okay, so here it is now, the world premiere of 13 Tales from Urban Bohemia live at The Wonder. Cheers.
cheers.